Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of the Plum Island Horror. So far so good. Of course there were a couple of goofs. Thanks so much Terry for making me aware. I think I should be more or less able to correct those now. I think it didn't really affect the actual gameplay to some extent, yes, but again I can correct that. First of all, whenever one of those piles of Murder of Horrors is digesting one of our units, it should grow in size. So I definitely had to do that over here, and down here I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they were eating these fellas over here. So this pile should also consist of one more of those tiles. I think that was fixed, but again this didn't really affect the gameplay. Up there at the Great South Bay Bridge, things are a little bit more complicated because this bridge really counts as a bridge, and there is a rule which is called, I think, the forced movement also. So whenever a zombie unit is moved onto one of those, or as part of a forced movement onto or over a damaged bridge, they basically take damage. They're filling out the holes thematically, it seems. This way they repair it, but they will also take damage. So when this pile of Murder of Horrors moved in here, they should have repaired this bridge. Therefore they should have taken 1 point of damage. So one of those fellas is out and the bridge is fully repaired. And this also means the attack that would happen afterwards, they wouldn't strike as hard. In this case there were only 2 units instead of 3. And this ultimately means Biff Roger should have only taken 1 point of damage. It's basically number of units times 2 rounded up. So I think overall this kind of also worked in our favor. So again, thanks so much for making me aware. And I think now, without further ado, we should be pretty much able to get back to the game. Luckily, we still don't have to, deal with the night phase, but the next round we will be. So I think we really need to get some supplies rather sooner than later. Something I kind of forgot, but yeah, this round we have 2 actions. That is at least something. So let's pull the first chit out of the bag. I really like this kind of a mechanic, and yes, of course we have to start with the Murder of Horrors here. So again, we are drawing our next fate card. So we are spawning something on track 6. That's still 3. And then this was a bad idea. These fellas will definitely move into the area here with E.M. Bobby. I keep forgetting what her actual name is. I think Ellie Mae. Exactly. She can take some damage, but definitely a problem. Over here we have another stack, so they will also move 1-2 spaces down here. So these were all of the activations. Now we will see a fight. We have now 5 units in here. It's a building location, that is good, which means she will take 2 points worth of damage. I think it's divided by 3 rounded up in this case. I think she might live. We are still rolling the die though, and her close combat rating is actually 3, so she would be rolling 3 dice. So let's see what she can do about that. That is not terrible, quite honestly. So she will basically dodge both of the damage. She's not taking any wounds, and she will inflict 1 point of damage to the stack here instead. Cool stuff. The problem is we are still adding one of these biohazard cubes into the bag. Whenever we have a close combat, we have to resolve that. But I think that wasn't too terrible, and already the end of this first activation. Cool. Let's draw the next chit from the bag, and come on, you must be kidding me. Another one of those. I mean, there are 3 in the bag, so no surprise here, but I don't know, I like it. Okay, we are spawning on 3 and we are activating 4. The spawning goes in here, and now we are activating those. They will not move out of this zone because they do have, let's say, an enemy unit in there, but those fellas will also move down here. They will form a giant pile. Then we will fight. Unfortunately, those folks get eaten, which also means, this time I will not forget, we are adding even one more of, I think this is something I need to be aware of, quite honestly. And we are still adding one more biohazard cube into the bag here, but that's the activation done, right? Oof, these big piles really do scare me. Okie dokie, next token. Okay, it's, I think, the neighborhood watch which gets activated first. We get our free movement and now I have to think about that. I think we need to start foraging soon. So this fella will move over here for sure with his free foot move. He could move further than that actually, but I think, you know, that is all right. I think we are moving her 2 spaces down here. She can either search or forage later on. Gordon will remain here because he has an amazing ability actually. Sergeant York will move up here. I think we might be able to crowd control them maybe both a little bit later on. And last but not least, I believe I have to leave Biff Rogers here, because if these guys activate, they will cause an overrun. And overrun is one of the ways we can lose the game. And this also means we can no longer escape from this bridge. It's considered compromised until the end of the game. There may be event cards which will deal with that. I don't know. But typically you don't get to remove those. So this was our adrenaline move. So we get to take 2 actions now because everyone is hyped. And yeah, afternoon we have learned about what's going on. So we get 2 actions. So the next night phase we even get to take 3 actions. That will definitely help. So what do we do with our 2 actions? I believe the first one is to use the special action of Gordon Feedy, which says Moonshine and Vittles. This costs 1 action. Yes, we have just taken that. Unit may forage 2 supplies from its current area, even if no supplies icons are present. That's the case there. And we are not exhausting the area. This is so incredibly huge. We really need the food. Where are the food markers? Actually, they are down here. So yeah, we are adding 2 more supplies here to this one. So I guess we need at least 1 more because we have 5 characters which we need to feed, right? Oof, it's not an awful lot actually. So in theory, we can consider to do that again and then maybe use our follow actions a little bit more clever. I really want to make sure we are getting the food for the neighborhood watch. So yeah, I think let's certainly do that. So we are taking the same action again. That's 2, but this also immediately ends our action phase. We still get to take our follow actions and I think we really desperately need those. I really want to make sure that we are getting those 2 Murder of Horror chits back basically, so that we can slowly move out. But then again, we also have this fella here. Not sure if that's that big of a deal. I mean, there's a huge pile coming, so maybe we should sacrifice them. We can also forage in this area here, so there is a supplies icon there. We'll exhaust when we use it, but still I think, oh, that could be it actually. Oh gosh, what do we do? Can we get to take 2 actions, or up to 2 actions? Should we? I think we will do a crowd control for sure. I think we want to play it fair, right? We are moving those fellas down. Then we have to draw our next fate card to see if we are triggering an event. We are not. Okay, I take that. And then maybe down here we want to do a search action next. Right now it's not compromised the area. I think that's the same for the forage. If my memory serves me well, we still have to exhaust the location, but it will get unexhausted anyway at the start or at the end of the next round, right? Oh yeah, okay, that's something that happens at the end, I believe. But anyway, we get to draw the top card from the search deck. I think that's a new one here, so let's see what we get. And I believe I was a little bit too quick. The area only exhausts if it says so, but it clearly says so. Exhaust this area. And this is a very cool card, but I think a little bit too early actually. Operating crop duster discovered. We get to choose option. Choose 1 option, fly the plane and spray the buggers. Reduce the biohazard track by 3 spaces. This would be huge, but we have only increased it by 1. So this seems, with 2, I may have considered that, but only 1, I don't know. Or here, you immediately evacuate up to 2 civilian units from any one area for free. Wow, in both cases, if the Rex Kramer VAP unit is on the map or evacuated, no, we don't have that. But still, evacuating 2 civilian units, this is so huge. Honestly, these 2 are the ones that are, yeah, I think most endangered actually. That's the problem. But then again, we want to evacuate the 3s, right? That's the idea. We have an awful lot of 3s out there, no units there. So I think I will do that. So I will evacuate those 2 from any one area. I believe it's any one area. Indeed. So now I think in this case, let's simply go for those two. That's 4 evacuation points. So cool. But yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Already 10. But keep in mind, I think getting rid or dealing with the evacuation track is not the most difficult piece in the world. Staying alive as that long so that this will count. That's, I think, the magic in this game. But yeah, I take it. This was our second follow action. So we have to draw another fate card and bam, draw an event card. Of course, it had to happen. Here it is. And we have swimming horrors. And this is terrible. Spawn a Murder of Horrors deck directly into the northern Cherry Pit Grove area. This is so bad because this is directly down here next to our group. Oh gosh, if I would have known, I would have totally moved them out. And oh boy, this game really stinks. It's okay. I'm not sure. By accident, I saw on the Geek actually that there are already variants to make this game more difficult, but so far, I mean, it's the first time playing, but still, wow, so many things that can go wrong in this one. But yeah, I think this was the entirety of that shit. Let's draw the next one. We are removing, of course, I think that's the last Murder of Horror shits that's in here. We still have the event shit, but yeah, we have to reveal our next card. And the good thing is it's an event card. I take that. Oh, a search is bad. So we will spawn on 2. That part is okay, but the search says draw a fate number. We are not using the fate number on this card. Activate the trait number equaling the drawn fate number twice, 2 times. Bam, and it's 1, and 1 is terrible. That was the worst one. Let's move first. Though these fellas will move in here. These fellas will move 1, 2 spaces down here. We really have a problem that sooner or later this becomes overrun. And once it's overrun, yeah, that's the problem. We have to do some damage control with those folks. But we are still not done yet because we have another Murder of Horrors deck here. Here we have to check which path they are taking, and that's 2, which means they're moving over here. So this was in theory the first activation out of 2. Of course, we still have to resolve combat down here against Gordon. Good thing is it's a house location. It's only 3, so they're only doing 1 point worth of damage, but he's also only rolling 1 die basically to defend himself or maybe kill one of those. Okay, that's the block. I take that for sure. We are still adding one of these pesky cubes into the bag, but no damage was done. But that was unfortunately only the very first activation. So now these searches really work this way. You resolve 1 full activation and then you activate it again, right? I mean, makes sense, right? Which means they will activate again. Oh no! Of course, I think we will lose our very first location. I really have to check the rules down here. They will move 2 spaces down, and I believe those will also move simply 1, 2 spaces down. Okay, we have to do something about that. Not sure what, but we have to do something about that. Yeah, I think we are now also activating from bottom up, which means down here. So these fellas will eat those civilians down here. Yeah, this was so bad. Really playing this extremely poorly. We're adding 1 more cube into the bag, of course, but now we have Murder of Horrors and no player units or any other units in here, which means this becomes overrun. Isn't that lovely? So we can never take it back. It's compromised, I believe, until the end of the game. The good thing is these fellas are removed. I think they're no longer part of the game, no longer available for spawning. Yeah, so that will also, because again, when we are no able, this is all bad. This is all bad. And because this location down here, the 1L, will cost us 2 overrun points. Oh boy. Oh boy, we are really bad. But that's not all. We still have to fight down here. We know the drill. He's only rolling 1 die. He's taking 1 wound. So let's see. Oh, that's an exploding die, which means we are inflicting 1 point of damage and we get to roll again. That is cool. Let's do that. And it's a shield. So I think that's almost the best result. He's not suffering a wound and we are removing 1 of those Murder of Horror units. You did quite well, Sir Gordon Feedy, but I think this was the activation or the last activation this round for the Murder of Horrors. Wow, horrible. Let's draw the next shit, and it's again the Neighborhood Watch. interesting. Again, we get a free movement, and I believe we have to do something here because we can't risk another overrun. If they would end their movement in an already overrun area, we will basically add another overrun point. And I think I slightly misspoke earlier on. I just checked that now. Whenever we can't spawn more Murder of Horrors, we are not increasing the biohazard track, we are increasing the overrun track by 1. But okay, that's that. So we have moved her. What about him? Actually, he has a very cool ability because he can decide if he wants to do an overrun or not, or want an overrun to happen basically. So we are still drawing a fate card for that. The problem is he can't move in here because, yeah, we have the limit. He can move up to 3 spaces actually. So it's 1, 2, 3. You can move through these areas, but you can't end your movement in the same area where you already have 2 player units. So that was that. So we moved him. We will not move Biff Rogers up here. Again, he needs to stay there. And similarly, I think we also want to keep him here. We want to evacuate the folks as much as possible. And yeah, he can't really leave because if they would activate, terrible things will happen down here. So we really want to crowd control them out. So these were all our movements. And again, we get to take 2 actions, and our first action here will be with, I keep forgetting, Ellie Mae. She will do a close combat, right? Yeah, we have to do a combat action. She's rolling 3 dice, which is not terrible against 3. It's okay. That's an open area. That's maybe the one piece. She would be taking 2 points worth of damage. I still think we have to do that. So she's rolling 3 dice. Again, we already know she's taking 2 points worth of damage. Rounded up basically. I know she's rolling 3 dice actually. That's much better. Okay, that was so pointless. She's not taking any wounds, but yeah, we simply add 1 of these cubes into the bag. Maybe I shouldn't have done that actually, because if that was very stupid. In fact, oh gosh, yeah, but I rolled the dice now. Because they would have activated anyway the close combat. But okay, I will not take it back. I think for him, we will do a crowd control. I think he has an admin rating of 5 even. So he will move them all out. I think you can move, or you can do the crowd control out of an area that is compromised. Let me check. And yeah, I think this is correct. Now we get to take follow actions. And I think we have to take them. Up here, we need food for sure. So we're exhausting the area. This gives us 1. They only have 2 now in their supply. So we are flipping this back over. They used 1 for, yeah, there was this 1 repair test, I believe, which was failed and we spent it. Yeah, that wasn't great. But this was the first thing already. We are drawing a card, no event card. Nice. And I believe down here we have to do another crowd control, moving those fellas down. Either one of those has at least 2 admin ratings, so that is fine. So we still have to draw a fate card, no event. Nice. And that's basically the chit fully resolved. Let's carry on. We are pulling the next chit, and this is Pearls. Plum Island Research Lab Security Service. So that is okay. We can take free movement actions. Let's definitely do that up here. So Mr. Irvin McCoy, I believe, is the name. Yeah, she also only has a rating of 1. So no, I think we are moving her here to the Pinot Winery. I think we might want to forage there. The cool thing is, if we would repair the island-wide light and power, we would be getting, I believe, 5 each or so. So every faction will get 5 resources. So doing that, maybe that should have been the first thing to consider, but somehow I completely forgot about that. I think I want to leave, yeah, Dr. El Khoury down here, so he might be able to crowd control a little bit later. So let's lay him down, so to indicate I thought about him. And then, yeah, they have both equally good rating, but he has the better admin rating, which means I will move Kevin Biardi. So no, I think he will simply move 1, 2 spaces over here. I think we have to also start crowd controlling them. And I believe, what's the reason to leave this fella here actually? I think there is none. So we could actually consider to move him either way. I mean, he's still the meat shield. That's basically why I leave him here. But I believe you can't play this game like this, I think at least. But yeah, it's a building location. So I think having a meat shield here is better than having a meat shield over here. This was the free and adrenaline move. We get to take 2 actions. Let's definitely forage here, which means we have to exhaust that area. We need those supplies for sure. So we have now 3 in our supply area. Still not good enough, I believe. And with the second action, I think we are going for a search action up here. So we are drawing our first search card, and that's an interesting one. Again, we have to exhaust the area afterwards. A paranormal encounter. Allegedly, your unit reports a miraculous encounter with the Mantha, the ghost mermaid, of course. She puts them all through a strange test of courage involving some seagull feathers, a lemon, and some weird pulley mechanism. Like I said, strange. They pass with flying colors and are granted a temporary paranormal guidance portal, or at least that's how they explain this bizarre hallucination. In any case, it worked. You may immediately evacuate a number of civilian units equal to your unit's bravery rating from any areas for free. Again, this is so insane. And yeah, I shuffled the heck out of this deck actually. Wow, and the bravery rating of good old Irvin is actually 3. That is amazing. From any areas. Okay, now we can really pick and choose. Wow. But let's not forget to exhaust the area. This counts for everything, I believe. We don't cover the icons, but I will put it over the icons so I can easier remember that. So we can evacuate 3 units from anywhere from the board. I think quite honestly we have to do something here because the area down here is overrun, so we can't really use it anyway, right? Ooh, that is so cool. But yeah, we have a 3 up here, which we will evacuate. That's 1 unit. Let's take one of the 2s in here, unless we still have 3 somewhere. Yeah, there is another 3, and I think we should do that, right? Yeah. So we take another 3 from up here. So ultimately, we have now collected, wow, 8 more evacuation points. You must be joking. So we're already moving up to 18. So this really doesn't seem to be our main concern, actually. Okay, but then what is? Yeah, I mean, we need food and all kinds of stuff. The zombies are swarming. I think overrun might become a problem. But yeah, wow. Okay, then the green fellas might be able to take 2 follow actions. And I think we will do that once here. Jay Kruger, he will also go for a search action. So we're drawing our next search card here. Let's see what it is. Disabled cruise ship runs aground in the bay. Your unit interviews survivors who say that they know that a huge ship is hung up on a sandbar off the coast. Place the cruise ship passengers VIP. Okay, now we have the VIP civilian unit into the bridge toll area along with 4 supplies, 6G. So the bridge toll is actually right next to our bridge. So here we have the cruise and we have the 4 supplies. The 4 supplies we can actually pick up basically by just moving in there. This should be our best way actually getting the supplies we need for the Pearl's security services. There is a nice description here. This unit encompasses an entire group of friendly vacationers donning their Bermuda shorts and carrying colorful umbrellas. It's cocktails, but as we all know, when things go badly on a confined cruise ship, hygiene, immune systems and overall well-being plummet dramatically. If this unit is evacuated, immediately add 1 red biohazard cube directly to the biohazard bag. If there are no cubes to add, then increase the biohazard by 2 spaces. Wow. And I think, yeah, we see that even here, +1 biohazard. Nice. Okay, just as a reminder. Yeah, but it comes with 4 evacuation points, if I understand that correctly, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, the theme in this game really is dripping through. I already love that a lot. We don't even have to exhaust the area, but we have to draw a fate card and no event card. Cool. We get to take a second follow action if we so desire. So I'm actually thinking about doing the same action here again to search, because we did not exhaust the area, right? So let's do that. We are drawing the topmost search card and it's a low flying plane passes overhead. And wow, it's something very, very similar. Members of your unit collectively and instinctively duck their heads as a passenger's jet passes above, trailing smoke. It's obviously heading for the airport, and you send out word to the others that they should investigate it. Place the first-class passenger VIP civilians unit in the Old Republic airport along with 2 supplies. And in case you're wondering, hey, you didn't shuffle, this is the same thing. No, we have number 31. Here it's number 10, the card before, so it's really shuffled quite well, actually. So they go over here actually, and they come with 2 supplies. So these cards apparently great ways getting a lot of supply cards actually. These dozen or so people crawled out of the first class lounge section of a crash landed jetliner. Obviously these are individuals who are quite successful and who could afford these expensive tickets. But what are they worth to society in actuality? And can they help? Players don't know the answer to that question, so when this civilian unit is evacuated, the player who did the evacuation will draw a fate card and get a fate number. The EP value of this unit is equal to the drawn number, so this can be up to 6 actually. Wow. Interesting event, and it still didn't exhaust the area, which means we still have to draw a card. No event, I take that. And these were the 2 follow actions, so we have to draw the next shit from the back. This goes away. It's still 1 bad and 1 good, and it's the good one. So we know the last token in here will be the event card. Okay, it's again the brown folks with a free movement. Right now there's nothing to do for the mayor here, so we might want to move her up 1 space. Not the mayor, what am I talking about? That's the CEO, of course. And I believe he will actually move down here, abandoning those poor souls. Who are they? I keep forgetting. The Addams family, exactly. And I think as soon as we're moving in, we are allowed to pick up those supplies. So now we should actually have enough supplies for the night phase. Cool. Up here, we will move Mr. Beatty 1 space up. And I believe down here we want to leave him where he is right now. The question is, what do we do with him? He could still do stuff actually, and I think, yeah, but I think he can. I think we want to also move these. These are 2 2s, right? I mean, that's not nothing. Yeah. Let's do it like this. Let's take our 2 actions now. With 1 action, we will move them down. So basically doing a crowd control. He has an admin rating of 2. Nice. And I think for him, we may want to pick up those supplies actually. On the other hand, ooh, that is now... But I think supplies are good for the brown players because he can use those supplies to shoot pretty well. So let's do that. Let's do that. So we will pick them up. I think we can even leave 2 of them here. We don't need to pick them up both, but because we can trade later on, I think that still works. Let's pick up those supplies as part of our move action. Right. As for following, I think I want a crowd control over here with him. So let's draw a fate card and bam. It's an event card, of course, and newly ruptured vats. Draw 3 cubes from the biohazard bag and apply their effects to the biohazard track. Place the drawn cubes back into the bag. Okay, let's quickly do that right here. First one, awesome. Second one, that's okay. And third one, so yeah, ultimately we are moving the marker 2 spaces further. Those cubes go back into the bag, and this was this done. In a normal multiplayer game, we would not be allowed to continue with follow actions, but that's different in the solo game. At least that's giving you a little bit of a breather. Okay, so what will be our second follow action if we want to take one? And honestly, those event cards are so amazing. I think I will go for this one over here. So we are drawing the next search card. Let's see what it is. Lost Squatching Expedition. Oh wow, more of those fellas, more VIPs I believe. Scouts patrolling ahead of your unit have made contact with a small group of cryptozoologists. Oh gosh, yeah, I butchered that word. I will not try again. Led by the famous personality Jim Boo Boo K, he tells them that he has some really important photographs to show the world. Through they do appear quite grainy and out of focus. No way. Place the Jim Boo Boo K VIP civilian unit in this area. Oh, in this area along with 2 supplies. But I do believe we can't pick it up, those supplies. Right now we are still not exhausting the area, because I think this happens as part of your move action. Even if you're not moving, you are allowed to do that, but that seems to be part of the move action. Cool. And he seems to provide 2 of 5 evacuation points. So let's see what this is all about. Jim was a somewhat famous ghost hunter on the show Paranormal Hijinks, but his real claim to fame is his second career as a professional squatcher, hunting Bigfoot during the off-season. Evacuating this unit is normally worth only 2 EP, but if the infected Sasquatch mutation Standy is currently in the game or has been eliminated, this unit is then worth 5 points instead, for his being right after all. Wow, oh man, I love the theme of this game. This is so amazing. Absolutely nicely done. Herman, great job. Unfortunately, we still have to draw a fate check. No, that is okay. And then I think we can directly move into the final chit of this round, which means, yes, it's impending doom. We knew that this was coming. Let's draw our next event card. And here we have the vulnerable immune systems. This can't be good, right? Each player must assign 1 additional hit to any one wounded unit in their faction, which in this case only means that Biff Rogers is taking the second wound after all. But I can see that this would easily kill your units. If you thought, hey, I have time, I can still heal this fella, and then you draw a card like this, then yeah, things are bad. But I think not the end of the world. Let's discard that. Let's end the round. We are not replenishing, we are not regenerating, but we will go through the infection step by drawing 2 more cubes out of the bag. Hooray. That's yellow, and okay, that is green. At least we were drawing some greens now. I think that is something, but we still have to increase it by 1. Now getting an event card that would drive it down by 3 would have been huge, of course. Next, I will place all those turn order chits back into the bag, and we are advancing the game round marker into the first night phase of the game, October 25th. We are starting the new round with the hunger phase for the very first time. Spend 1 supplies per faction unit and 1 supplies for all civilians in a compound. So far we didn't build a compound, maybe also an oversight, maybe something I should have done. But anyway, right now we still have 5 faction units, which means we will leave 1 here for the neighborhood watch, and 4 and 5. So we have still 4 more supplies for the Pearl Security Services. That could become crucial. For every food that you can't consume or don't want to consume, basically, you get a wound, basically. You can, I think, freely assign those. And again, these civilian units only count when they're in a compound area. But as long as they are in a compound area, they're somewhat protected. These compound tend to be very strong. So let's draw our first chit, and it is pearls. I'm not going to move Irvin, I believe, because he might be taking a combat action rather soon, actually. I'm also not moving Kevin Biardi, I believe. Yeah, we need to leave him here. We want to still move folks out, so again, lay them down. So again, I didn't forget them. And yeah, the unexhaust only, the replenish step happens at the end of the round. So I'm still not sure if I should leave him here, but now these folks will start to move, actually. So I think let's leave them here for now. But I believe I do want to move Dr. McCoy. Where do I want to move him, actually? That's the question. I think, yeah, we have to move him down, actually, because he can crowd control these folks out, and then we can evacuate here with the Coast Guard. This, I believe, is repaired, right? We didn't damage it whatsoever. Nice. I also don't want to move the CEO, Mrs. Winfrey, here, because she can take the decontamination action, which would basically heal our biohazard level by 2 stages. That can become huge. And I believe those were all the free movements. Now we get to take 3 actions. And I think with the first action, we will totally take the decontamination action. So we will exhaust this location. I believe that's what you need to do. And again, because we had 2 icons here, we will move the biohazard marker down 1, 2 spaces. Nicely done. I'm still not 100% sure if I want to do that or not, but I believe I will use Irvin McCoy decoy's special ability for a ranged attack. So we have to spend 1 supply. It's going down to 3. And his special action says highly transmissible vaccine spray. When conducting a ranged combat attack only, if the first attack results in at least 1 hit, the unit may conduct another ranged combat attack at no additional action cost and without spending another supplies. This may be done as many times as qualified. Okay, I don't know if this works or not, but I will try. And obviously we are doing this up here. We are shooting into the Bay Bridge area. So we are rolling 1 die and we are hoping for some hits here, right? And it was a hit. Amazing. Okay, cool. So this horror unit is out of here, returned to the supply, so we can spawn it again. And because of his special ability, he gets to shoot again. How cool is that? And it's another hit. Wow, you are a star. We could shoot again, but we can only shoot into adjacent areas with that ability. So, but I will totally take that. Taking out 2 zombies, Murder of Horror styles with 1 supplies. This is huge. And then we can actually consider to move this fella up. It would add some red cube into the bag, but I still think it might be actually worth it, right? What do you think, guys? I don't know. We still have 1 more normal action left for this activation. But I think not. We will go for a crowd control action here with Dr. L. Corey, moving both of these fellas into the beach area. Now we have the Coast Guard helicopter who could evacuate later on both of these units out of here. Nicely done. Those were all 3 of our actions. We still get to take follow actions if we so desire. And again, I'm actually thinking of taking another search action here with Mr. Kruger. So far it served us well. So yeah, let's do that. So something found in the driftwood. Now we are exhausting the area. What does it say? It is an October 25th round. Yes, it is. A beat up carton of emergency medical supplies washes up on the beach. Place 2 supplies in the nearest beach area, which I believe this one here actually. Yes, that's the nearest one. 2 supplies lying here. That is not terrible. If Sherlock Spangler I know we don't have the civilian unit out here, but we are now finally exhausting the area. The good news really is this area will become unexhausted at the end of this round. Cool. Anyway, almost forgot to draw our card. No event card. Nice. So we could do something else, but now we may not want to stick around here actually. So we could consider to maybe start moving this fella out. I mean, that's another 2 points. And again, moving these guys away from the zombies, from the Murder of Horrors might not be the worst thing to do, right? But honestly, I don't think we are taking another follow action at this point in time. We are simply drawing the next chit out of the bag. Okay, it's the impending doom. We will resolve an event card right away. So here we have the red sickness. This doesn't sound good at all. And yeah, indeed, add 2 red cubes if possible to the biohazard bag. Yes, it is possible. And those suckers will move the biohazard marker 2 steps. Isn't that lovely? But this already resolved this token. Let's pull the next chit out, and yes, it's the baddies who are activating. Let's draw our card. Oh, it would be an event card. So track 3 gets more stuff. Let's do that right here. We can do that. So that's a bigger stack. No, we have another surge. Oh boy, these surges are terrible. So let's see. That's the last card, by the way. And track 3 is actually activating twice. Is that bad or not? Let's see about that. And I just noticed something. This was hopefully not too bad. Horror stacks that consist of 1 to 3 would be moving 3 spaces. So up to 6, they're moving 2 spaces. I think it may not have mattered because they were immediately meeting enemies, but something I have to remember. And for whatever reason, I think they have so many player aids and whatnot here, but this piece is not mentioned on any one of those, how far they are moving. It's really weird, unless or do I miss that here? Is it maybe on this card? Oh, it is actually. Okay, that is on me. It's on this one here. Okay, that's on me. I take everything back, of course. But anyway, so they will move 1, 2 spaces. So that was the first activation, then with the second activation they have to make a decision. So therefore I have to shuffle the deck of cards here, although I will do that off camera, so give me 1 second. And for you, literally 1 second. And they're going path 2 up here, which is again another forced march basically. So they will take 2 points worth of damage for that. They will repair this bridge now. But then they have to stop here no matter what after they have successfully crossed in here. So we have to do something about that. But yeah, I don't know if that's good or not. But okay, let's draw the next token from the back, and it's again the bad one. So let's draw our next fate card. So we are spawning on 1 and 2 now. You must be joking. So 3 going, it's still 3, right? Yeah. And 3 will go over here. That part is okay. And then we're activating tracks 3 and 4. I'm not sure if we're doing this track by track. I will start at the lower one. Maybe I should start at the higher one. Not sure if it matters too much, but there we are. But this means, yeah, okay, more bad news. Track 3 will move in here. And then, yeah, we will immediately resolve it, right? Which means they will eat those guys. We are adding more Murder of Horror units. Hopefully I haven't forgotten that, actually. And we are adding 1 of these cubes because it's considered to be close combat. And I think, again, one thing I forgot. Hopefully it didn't matter now, actually. I think it didn't, because they would have 1 more movement allowed, which means this deck would now only move 1 space, but because we're at night, they will move 2 spaces in here. So that was that thing done. Nothing else on track 4. No, I think that's it. We resolved the card. I really have to pay attention here. Let's draw the next chit out of the bag. And yeah, it's again pearls. And I honestly don't know if I should be moving somewhere or not, because here we all get fancy stuff. Yeah, for her, she could move somewhere else. The problem is she can't. She could move over here, take the supplies. Yeah, let's do that. So we are moving her, doing as part of her movement, she will pick up those 2 supplies, which we can use to fire, to use vehicular movement, all kinds of, which we haven't done so far, actually. But okay, I think that's the end of our free movement. We get to take 3 actions now. With 1 action, we are going to do a evacuation action. We don't have to have a player unit in there. That's the piece I forgot, I believe, the first time I did that, but we have the Coast Guard. The helipad is fully repaired, so we can escort up to 2 civilian units out of here. That's 4 more evacuation points. I mean, this is huge. We are already at 22 out of 26. So I'm not so concerned about this track now, but that was our first action. But allow me 1 mulligan. I think I should have actually moved Mr. Biart over here, because I think he can shoot into an adjacent zone. Yeah, let's do that here, because his second action, or the second action we are taking now, is to shoot into this pile here. So we have to spend 1 supplies for that. And he gets a free move after ranged combat. And I also didn't see that. That's the second part, actually. When he is engaged in close combat, he's not adding any biohazard cubes into the bag. This is really a huge ability, so using him as a meat shield might have been the better thing. But okay, it is what it is. We are rolling the 2 dice again into this area over here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, the shield, wait a second, the shield does help us in a certain circumstance, I believe. So 1 is definitely down, but unfortunately it's the other way around. We would inflict a hit with this shield if this would not be a building or a forest location. That's basically depicted down here on the ranged combat damage resolution. Shielded, treat this as 1 hit result unless the targeted horrors unit is in building or forest terrain area, and those type is treated as a miss result instead. Pity. Then we have to take a third action again, and here I'm not so sure. Should I shoot into that area again or not? And we could move. So after we have taken our combat, we get a free move. So let's do that. So let's not take another second combat action. No, in this case, we want to take a crowd control with this fella over here. Now, when we know the next crowd control, we could escort those. I think these were the Luxus liner or these ship things. So they are highly effective. But that was that. and those were our 3 normal actions. And now it's 4 follow actions, and I think let's do crowd control them out. So we will score 4 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are saved. Cool, we have done that, but this also means we have to add 1 red cube into the bag. There's already 3 red cubes in there. That's scary. But this was our first follow action. Let's draw our card. No event. Cool. And even though I'm not doing this particularly often, I think I do want to take a move action now, maybe with our Biff Rogers up here. I think we now want to move out of that bridge for now. Let's do that. So we are moving 1, 2 spaces here. We could search later on, and they will have to take a turn. So let's draw a card. No event. Nice. And that's the end of that chit. Done. Let's draw the next one right away. And yes, it's the the final bad token. That's something. Let's see if we can work with that. Reanimate it. Draw a fate number. I think that's not too bad actually. And it's number 1. So we're adding 1 onto every or two murder of horror. We are really getting thin on these tokens actually. That could become a problem. So 2 here. Oh no, it's even more. Wow. Okay, that's quite a lot. They're all on 1. 2 more here. That's now scary here, and 2 more here. And that's basically all that is left in this. We have to do something about that. That much is clear. That was scary. We are still activating track 4, which is this one here, which would normally only move 1 space, but because we have a night, we are moving 2 spaces. So the first space, they will move down here. Second space, they will move down in here. So yeah, this could cause another overrun relatively soon. That's really some point of a problem. This is where I'm not doing particularly well, actually. So yeah, let's draw the last 2 chits out of the bag. Let's somewhat act surprised, but the 2 that are missing right now is definitely the neighborhood watch. We get 2 actions, but no, it's actually 3 actions, but we are moving first. We will move Sergeant York down here. I think he might be taking a compound action next. Yep, let's see. This has become super scary, so I think we also want to move him out here. Or should we build our compound over here? That's something we want to consider. Let's see about that. I don't know. So do we want to move her out or not? If not, I think these fellas will move on to, or they will cause another overrun. So I think we have to remain here. But no, we will move her here, because here she can defend better. It's a building location. Yeah, let's do that. This fella will, I believe, also stay here. It's his movement, which means he is now allowed to pick up those supplies. Again, that's part of a movement action, even though you're not moving. And up here, I'm not so sure if I think I will move actually 1 space in here. This is not exhausted, this area, but it's compromised. I can't really search that. That was the part I was missing. I could repair it just to give us more possibilities. So in this case, no, I will not move him. So I think taking that action with him was a little bit useless, but we didn't trigger an event with that. So I think overall no harm was done, but those were all the 3 movements. Let's take our action. We definitely do want to search up here, and here it says we have the meats. It still is October 25th. Place 4 supplies in Bo's barbecue area. 1 H. And wow, this is huge. This is really, really huge. He can pick it up basically with his next shit. Totally worth it event. We have to exhaust the area though. But again, this will be sorted out relatively soon. All those exhausted markers will disappear relatively soon. This was the search card, and this was our first action. Sergeant York is going to build a compound. We only have 1 compound. It's Fort Courage, which will definitely protect us for quite a while. We will move all of those folks in here. We need more supplies now for those folks, so we could even consider to not. We can decide if we want to do that. Therefore, unfortunately, we have to take a wound. It was very stressful to build that compound. It goes on to Sergeant York, and we have to spend 2 supplies. This does hurt, but I think we don't need to eat for quite a while. That was our second action used, and for the third action, I think I rather want to move these guys out actually. Or is there anything else we want to do with the neighborhood watch? I mean, we do know, yeah, we have a second action with, or second activation round basically for the green. So I could actually now start moving, and maybe I should have done that actually because all of the chits are down here. So no, I think in this case, let's do a crowd control over here, and maybe we want to simply escort them out. I think I don't want to feed them actually. Right now I want this compound here to protect us from this, doomstack over here. We still get to take 2 follow actions with our friends, the pearls. And I think why not? Should we move them out? That's now a question, because as long as they are here, they might be actually protecting us, because overrun only happens if nothing is there at the end of the movement and their attack. So maybe that's not our best interest. So no, I think in this case we will rather perform another forage action here. This gives them 1 more supply. They really have a lot of supplies, but we can trade later on. We have to exhaust the location and we have to draw our fate card. No event. Nice. And for the second follow action, we want to search over here. I think searching is really key in this game. The little ships of Plum Island. We have to exhaust the area if your unit is from the Neighborhood Watch faction. No. If your unit is from the Plum Island Constabulary faction. No. If your unit for any other, it's another faction. Okay. Leaders make a public appeal for assistance from boat owners. You may immediately evacuate 1 civilian unit from any beach or docks area for free. Oof. You may do that, but I honestly don't think we want to do that, because again, they are blocking the space and we have already fulfilled our evacuation points. Yeah, that wasn't too great. We still have to exhaust the area. Again, I think I don't want to do that just yet, because again, they will now pretty much help us, sacrificing themselves for the others. But we still have to draw an event card, or have to do an event check, which didn't happen here. Nice. So we are pulling the last chit out of the bag. We can do that right here. We know what it is. It's the last one. We get a free movement. Let's do the free movement with this fella over here. He might take another search action there. I believe we are moving Sergeant York up here to this area. This becomes unexhausted. We can activate it relatively soon again. Here we have a move, which means we are picking up those supplies. That is nice. That is nice. I think we are not moving him, so we will leave him here. Question is, what do we do with her? No, I think we want to leave her here because she can also forage down here in theory. And then, yeah, last but not least, we still have this fella, and I think, I'm not so worried about that. No, we are moving him down. He tries to repair this light and power plant there. Yeah, let's do that. Those were our normal free movements. Let's take our actions. And I think we want to start here to repair. The good thing is he does have a very solid admin rating. So let's draw a fate card. The higher the better. Oh, that's a 2. I think a 2 is not great. Not horrible, but not great. Repairs underway for a damaged area bridge reduced by 1 for a disabled unit. No, it's not disabled. Yeah, unfortunately, we are simply getting 1 repair here. That's not too great. I was really hoping for more, but it could have been much worse, of course. With the second action, I think we are going to search here. Yeah, I think we need to search. Searching is really important. The Great Savior. And that's a cool one. Place the Hero of the Day NPC unit. I think we have it somewhere here. We don't know what he is or what she is. Unit by the game round trick. When the next player unit eliminates any horrors unit while resolving combat of either type. Okay, we have to fight. Immediately place it into the same area as the victorious unit. If this results in the area surpassing the play unit area, place the hero in adjacent area. Cool. So this is really a very powerful thing. I mean, 5 and 5, 3. Okay, that's so cool. We are placing it here. This was so worth it. Sure about that. So we are placing a marker in here. So this card was resolved. So nice. And then, yeah, maybe with our last action, let's do a repair again, right? Let's do that. And it's a 3. 3 is the same thing. It's only 1 marker. This was really underwhelming. We should have repaired that. A 4 would have made it. But yeah, that's what it is. We get to take up to 2 follow actions. And I just noticed something. I should have built the compound over here, actually. Can we still do it? She could build the compound here, but having 2 compounds in the same area, in the same lane, I think this doesn't help. Okay, that wasn't smart because this is a very cool area here, actually. So I think for follow action, should we move? Because yeah, they could move. No, let's move him here actually. But when he get activated, he will be able to do something. No, I think we will simply leave him here. Not spend a follow action for that. What else? Almost everything is now exhausted, so we could maybe move him up. Would that be something to consider? Because yeah, he can shoot, and when he shoots we don't need to spend supplies actually. Maybe that's not too bad. So let's move him up here with a follow action. Therefore, yeah, we have, of course, it's an event card. This last one had to be right. So let's draw that event card, pesky one. And we have the toxic whale. Check the biohazard track level and apply as follows. So let's do that over here. We are at 2. Spawn a murder of horror stacks with X number of tiles in the spawn zone of the track X. X equals the biohazard track. Okay, which is basically 2. So we're adding 3 more into lane 2. And again, this will actually kill us. We are running out of these tiles here. That is a problem. But I believe that was the event, and I think we are not going for a second follow action, which means we are ending the round. So we will do the replenish location step. I will do that off camera. Basically, we are removing all of those exhausted location markers here. We are not regenerating any mutations. Dodge that bullet at least so far. But we will have to go through the biohazard infection step. So let's draw 2 cubes. That's yellow. That is 1. Another one. That is green. Oh, wow. Even a green one. Okay, I take that. There are 5 green cubes in that bag. And I believe that's basically it. We're putting all those tokens back into the bag. We will advance the game round marker into round 4, basically getting 3 more actions again. But I think for today I will call it. I'm relatively certain I will catch some errors during editing. I'm also sure you will let me know if I missed something or not, and I really do appreciate that. I will try to repair that in my next video. I think in the next video I will really try to play through the full October 26. So hopefully be able to speed things up a little bit. And yeah, really hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough. I really enjoy the heck out of this game. This is so nicely done, highly thematic. For me, it falls into the same category as games like Last Night on Earth, which is still my most favorite zombie themed game. I really enjoy it. It's a big experience here. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this one. Very, very nicely done. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon. And no, sorry, before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members. You guys are truly amazing. Can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. Really, really do. And now with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.